everyone. I hope that you're having a wonderful one today. I am happy to be here to talk about Rebel Rising, but the spoilery edition. So, it has been spoken, it has been shown, it has been typed into the title of the video. So, if you have not consumed this book through either video or audio format, visual or audio formats, you can go ahead and click away now. This will be your warning that we will be talking quite a bit about the plot. So, all that being said, the warnings being out there, let's go ahead and hop right into the plot. So I loved the plot of this entire novel, really. It's pretty basic, actually. I mean, you got Jin is orphaned, Jin gets trained, Jin gets abandoned, Jin finds a boyfriend, Jin's boyfriend dies, and then she gets wrapped up in with some Imperials and ends up in jail on Wambani, where we find her at the beginning of Rogue One. Pretty basic storyline, and I liked that. It allowed the author, Beth Revis, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her last name, to properly, how do I put this? To place the proper light onto Jin's psyche. Because for me, this book was important to make me care about Jin, to be perfectly blunt. I wasn't really connected with Jin in the movie, and the novelization helped a tiny bit. The novelization of Rogue One helped me a tiny bit, but this book helped me a whole lot to understand how her psyche works, why she makes the decisions that she does. I'm willing to bet that about 80% of this novel is just Jin's inner monologue or Jin's thoughts being described to us by the author. And that is actually excellent for me. That's what I needed out of this novel. There are some downsides to that. You do, at least me, normally I'm terrible with character names, but I remember 0 character names other than Jin and Saw. That's it. Those are the only 2 character names that I remember. I can tell you all the different things that the secondary and tertiary characters did, but I can't tell you their names necessarily. Now, of those secondary characters, I definitely enjoyed being annoyed with Jin's boyfriend's mother, and her whole interesting opinions on how to deal with the Empire. Pacifism sometimes doesn't work, unfortunately. But anyways, I definitely enjoyed her boyfriend, basically Jin's boyfriend that she meets, and it definitely helps us to kind of get the feeling behind why she's so desperate to stay absolutely as far away as possible from anybody in terms of emotional connection. She doesn't want an emotional connection with anyone. Parents ripped away from her, adoptive father abandons her, and boyfriend's mom gets killed partially because of her. Okay, I can understand why someone doesn't want to be attached to anybody after all of that happens to them. Again, it's another flaw of Jin's character that I didn't like, that I found her as cold and unapproachable. Fix that. All of these losses that Jin went through helped to fix that. There we go, I got to that thought eventually. Another thing that I really liked learning about Jin is that we got to understand where all of those charges that are read off come from. Like the fact that she's a really good Imperial forger, or really good forger in general, of documentation and credentials and scan docs and all that kind of stuff. And I really liked to see that. Although it kind of just made me a little bit annoyed with Rogue One. Like, why couldn't Rogue One have mixed something in that would have shown Jin's capacity to forge documents? I would have really liked to see that now in Rogue One, but that's not this book's fault, that's the movie's fault, really. I think that about does it on my thoughts on Jin as a character and the plot as a whole. So we'll talk finally about Saw Gerrera, because holy cow, Saw Gerrera, I almost want like a standalone comic series, like not a big one, just like one of like the little 5-issue ones, like the Han Solo or the Princess Leia or the Chewbacca or whatever. I want that story a little bit. I know that we've kind of gotten Saw Gerrera's story through lots of other characters' story. Started off with Ahsoka in the Clone Wars, then we got some of it in Rebels, then we're getting some of it in through Jin's stories, and then Rogue One's story. But I want to know, I want to follow him on an adventure. I want him to be my main character. Not because I really like him. I like him as a fictional character. I could not deal with him as a person because holy crap. Uh, yeah, he does have a heart of gold. One of the best scenes in this book, in my opinion, was after Saw pulls or brings Jin to his compound, just over by Smuggler's Run, and I can't remember the name of the planet. He takes her to this compound, and he like proudly like shows her this ratty mattress and this like own private room that he's set up for her, and she's like kind of like, really, like my parents are gone and you're giving me this. But even 8-year-old Jin can see Saw going, do you like it? I hope you like it. I'm trying really, really hard. And it makes Saw so endearing. Yes, he's a mass murdering terrorist, but he's a person, and there's a reason why he does the things that he does. He loves Jin so much. Like that, just that one scene completely. It makes me wish if Rogue One would have been lots of cutbacks, like lots of flashbacks that Jin has, like lots more flashbacks. You know, when they first bring up Saw on Yavin, I would have loved to see an actual like little clip, like little 45-second clip of that scene of him taking her to his compound, and then him showing her room, and then that loving and touching scene in between the two of them. Man, I love Saw Gerrera. Now, I think that's all I've got to say about this, at least in this sort of one-way medium that we have here with YouTube videos. But I would love to know your guys' opinions. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys down in the comments down below. You can also hit me up over on Twitch, where we stream on Wednesday mornings and Sunday evenings. Or you can follow me over on Twitter, where we can have a conversation there. Thank you guys so much for your time. And as always, may the Force be with you.